Close your eyes, Bedtime, and let your breath slow.
Tonight, we wander into the soft glow of forgotten temples, where ancient cults once whispered prayers beneath the stars. These are not stories of fear or shadows, but of peace, sacred women, divine symbols, and gentle rituals that once soothed weary souls. The firelight flickers, the incense curls, and the voices of priestesses echo like lullabies. Together, we will journey through the ancient world, Egypt, Greece, Mesopotamia, and beyond, where the divine feminine was honored as mother, healer, guide, and eternal comforter. Let us drift into their sacred symbols, and let them soothe your spirit as you fall into rest. If these stories help you drift peacefully into dreams, consider subscribing for more calming journeys. And if you feel called, share in the comments where you're listening from. I'd love to know where these gentle echoes are reaching you. The night is quiet. The air is soft. You are drifting, slowly, like a feather caught in a gentle wind. Before you lies a vast horizon of time. It stretches backward, far beyond memory, into the oldest of ages, a time before writing, a time before kingdoms, a time when people lived close to rivers, to forests, to the soil beneath their feet. In this stillness we enter the first whispers of the sacred feminine, the first signs of spirit and mother, the dawn of the goddess. The fire crackles in a cave long ago. Shadows flicker across stone walls painted with red and black. Here, hunters have returned from the night, laying their tools aside. Mothers cradle their children in warm arms, and above them, drawn in simple lines, a shape appears again and again. The curve of a body, the swelling of life, a symbol of the mother, carved in stone and earth. This is the beginning. Long before temples of marble or golden altars, there were caves. There were rivers. There was the endless cycle of birth, of growth, of return to the soil. And in these rhythms, the people of the ancient world saw something sacred. They saw the mystery of women, the gift of life, the eternal circle. In the quiet of night, one can almost hear them breathe. The soft sighs of those who gathered around fires, telling stories of earth and sky. Stories of mothers who became rivers, of grandmothers who became stars, of women who walked into the forests and returned with healing herbs. The goddess was not a single name then. She was not yet Isis or Inanna, not yet Aphrodite or Demeter. She was simply the pulse of life itself. She was the soil that gave grain. She was the moon that swelled and waned. She was the breast that nourished, the arms that protected, the womb that carried. In silence, the people honored her, with stones shaped like her form, with songs whispered into the dark, with hands pressed into clay, leaving gentle marks like prayers in the earth. Imagine a small figure carved of stone, her hips round, her belly full, her breasts heavy with life. These little figures, now found across the world, carried by time, were once held in gentle hands. Perhaps they were kissed. Perhaps they were kept near firelight as guardians of the home. Perhaps they were buried in the ground, asking the soil to give grain, asking the womb of earth to give children. These early mothers of stone spoke a language without words, a language of curves and circles, a language of cycles that never end. They told of a truth felt in every village and tribe, that woman is the echo of earth itself. The night deepens. A river moves quietly nearby. Its waters shine like dark glass under the moon. For the people of that time, the river was also the goddess. She carried life in her flowing arms. She gave fish for food, reeds for shelter, water for the body. And like the womb, she carried all things forward. Listen closely. The river is a lullaby, endless and slow. The stones along its banks glisten as if kissed by stars. A child falls asleep against the chest of its mother. The village settles into rest, and over them all the goddess watches, not as a figure of stone, but as presence itself, soft, endless, all-embracing. Time drifts onward. The caves give way to fields. People plant seeds, wait for rain, and watch the green rise from earth. They learn the rhythm of seasons, spring, summer, harvest, and winter rest. Each cycle is a mirror of the body, a mirror of the womb, a mirror of woman. The goddess deepens in their minds. She is no longer just stone. She is the grain itself. She is the poppy blooming red. She is the rain that softens soil. In gentle rituals, seeds were buried as prayers. Hands lifted bread toward the sky, giving thanks. Every loaf, every ear of wheat was seen as her gift. She was the mother who never ceased to give. The night is silent again. You can almost hear the whisper of grass bending under moonlight. You can feel the stillness of ancient fields, wide and endless. There, in the hush, the people knew a simple truth. The feminine is the earth, the body, the mystery of return. In their dreams, she took many forms. A bird flying across dawn skies, a serpent coiled in the soil, a great tree with roots deep and branches wide. Sometimes she was gentle, offering milk and honey. Sometimes she was fierce, like a storm that tears the fields. Yet always she was alive. Always she was present. Always she was the one who gave and the one who received. Picture yourself beneath the night sky of those first ages. There are no cities, no stone roads, only firelight and stars. The people look upward and they see the moon. She waxes, she wanes, she swells, she disappears, like a womb that grows and empties, like the belly of a woman who carries life. The moon became her mirror, the goddess of the sky, of silver, of rhythm. In every phase the people saw her. In every night they felt her. They carved her crescents into bone, wore them around their necks, slept with them near their hearts. The moon was a mother above, keeping watch as children dreamed. Drift deeper now. Imagine those first songs hummed low, slow, like a heartbeat. Songs to call the rain. Songs to ask for healthy children. Songs to honor the mystery that life begins in darkness, that a seed must be hidden in soil, that a child must grow unseen in the womb. The goddess was this darkness, not frightening, not empty, but full. A darkness that carried life, a night sky carrying stars, a womb carrying breath. The people lay on the earth and pressed their hands into the soil, knowing they rested in her body, knowing they belonged to her embrace. As the centuries passed, stories grew. The goddess took names, took forms, yet her essence never changed. She was still the river, still the field, still the moon, still the breath of life. In every corner of the world, her symbols appeared. Not the same language, not the same songs, yet always the same truth. A figure with wide hips, a circle endless and unbroken, a crescent moon above the brow, a hand open in blessing. Everywhere, the divine feminine was present, woven into dreams and daily life, a gentle pulse that never left. Now let your mind rest in this place. Let the goddess of dawn wrap you in her arms. She is not far. She is the soil beneath your bed, the water waiting in the well, the quiet rhythm of your own breath. She has always been here, always watching, always holding. From the first fires in caves, to the rivers of today, to the stars above you now. She is the mother, the eternal one, the soft circle that holds the world. The night grows deeper. The stars shine brighter. Your breath moves slow. The story has no end, for the goddess is endless. Let her symbols carry you. The stone figure with her rounded form. The river singing low. The moonlight drifting like silver on your skin. The seed buried in the soil waiting to bloom. You are safe here. You are part of this ancient circle. You are resting in her arms. And as the night folds around you, as dreams begin to rise like mist, you drift with the first dawn of the divine feminine. You drift with the eternal mother. You drift with the endless circle of life. Now rest as the stars return. Now rest as the goddess keeps watch. Now rest as the soft winds carry you deeper. The night opens gently. A pale moon rests above a desert plain. The air is still, touched only by the faint breath of warm winds. Sand stretches like an endless sea, and in its quiet waves rises a city of clay and stone. Its towers are simple, its walls strong, its streets winding like river paths. And at the heart of this ancient city, there stands a temple. High steps climb toward it. Torches glow like stars along its walls. And on the highest terrace where the moonlight falls, there is silence. It is here, in the soft silver of the night, that Inanna is honored, goddess of heaven and earth, queen of stars and soil, the radiant one, whose presence moves between sky and ground. You drift closer, as though carried by the wind. The temple doors stand wide. Inside, the air is cool. The walls are carved with gentle curves of stars and crescents, symbols of the night sky glowing softly in the torchlight. Priestesses move with slow, measured steps, their voices low and sweet, chanting words that rise and fall like the rhythm of a tide. Here, Inanna is remembered not only as a goddess of love and beauty, but also of strength and protection. Her temples were built with care, high and enduring, so that her presence could be felt in every corner of the city. She was honored as both gentle and fierce, as giver of life and as guardian of boundaries, as the morning star that rises with light, and as the evening star that glows when night returns. The torches flicker and their flames move like small dancers. The scent of incense fills the air, sweet resin, drifting smoke, curling shapes. It carries the mind deeper toward a quiet place of rest. On the altar rests a simple statue, Inanna's figure carved of stone, her crown marked with horns of the crescent moon. Her eyes seem alive in the firelight, steady and endless. In her hands she holds a star, not blazing, not fierce, but calm, as though it has always belonged there. People come with offerings, bowls of fruit, jugs of oil, woven cloth. They bow their heads and whisper their prayers. Some ask for love to grow in their homes. Some ask for safety in their journeys. Some ask for peace after long seasons of struggle. Each prayer is like a drop of water, falling into a great and quiet pool. And Inanna is the stillness that receives them all. The story of Inanna is as old as stone, and yet, tonight, it is told again. It begins with her place in the heavens, for she is the queen of the morning star, the one who rises before the sun, glowing softly in the sky. And she is also the evening star, the gentle light that lingers after sunset, watching over the dark. The people saw her as the balance between both, between rising and setting, between beginning and ending, between love that comforts and power that protects. She was the circle that holds opposites in peace. Listen now to her temple songs. They drift like the wings of doves in the night air. They tell of gardens filled with blossoming trees, where rivers flow clear, where grain rises golden, where lovers meet beneath the branches. For Inanna is the goddess of love, of union, of beauty that softens the heart. But the songs also tell of battle, of shields shining like the sun, of lions roaring by her side. For Inanna is not only softness, she is the strength that defends, the courage that rises when danger comes. In her, the people saw that love and power were not apart, that the hand that comforts can also protect, that the one who brings beauty can also bring strength. She was the full circle, whole and unbroken. The night deepens. Stars shine above the temple roof, scattered like jewels on velvet. The priestesses place small lamps along the steps. Each lamp holds a flame, and together they shine like a second constellation on earth. These lamps are symbols of the goddess's presence, each flame a reminder that Inanna is both above and below, both star and soil, both infinite and near. A child lies against her mother's lap on the temple steps. His eyes grow heavy as the chants drift around him. The soft rhythm of drums beats like a heartbeat, slow, steady, endless. And he falls asleep in the comfort of the goddess's watch. Drift deeper now into her stories. Inanna was known to journey far, even into the underworld itself. She once descended, leaving her crown behind, leaving her jewels, leaving her robes until she stood bare, vulnerable, yet unafraid. She entered the realm of shadows, and for a time the world above grew still. Grain ceased to grow, waters grew quiet, the people wept. But Inanna returned. She rose again, shining, clothed once more in her light. Her descent and return became a sacred rhythm, a story of death and rebirth, of rest and renewal, of darkness that gives way to dawn. For the people of that land, this was no tale of fear. It was a promise that all who descend will also rise, that all who rest will also awaken, that every night carries within it the seed of morning. The temple walls echo with her names: Lady of Heaven, Queen of Earth, the Bright One, the Fierce One, the Gentle One. Each name is like a thread, woven into a tapestry of light and shadow. She is never only one thing, never only one face. She is the fullness of being, the meeting of sky and soil, the bridge between love and power, between day and night, between silence and song. The wind softens outside. The sands shift quietly around the temple. A crescent moon rises higher, glowing like silver on water. Its shape, curved and open, is her crown, her gift, her eternal sign. The people looked to the crescent as her embrace. It was the arms of the goddess, open to the world. It was the vessel that held the light of stars. It was the curve of safety, of gentleness, of cycles that never end. Alongside it they placed her star, a bright point of guiding light. Together the crescent and the star became her mark, a sign that she was always near, always present in the heavens, always watching, always guiding. Imagine standing at the temple gate, the air warm, the sky vast, the city sleeping. Only the lamps burn now, only the chants remain. The sound is soft, like water flowing over stones, like a river moving under moonlight. The goddess feels near, as though she walks among the shadows, her feet silent, her presence steady. She is the night wind, she is the torch flame, she is the star above, she is the soil below, and in her presence, the heart feels calm, the mind feels still, the body feels safe. The stories tell that Inanna once offered her powers to the world. She gave laws of wisdom, arts of music, skills of weaving, secrets of healing. She brought them down from the heavens and placed them in human hands, so that people might live with beauty, so that they might live with order, so that they might live with love. Every craft, every song, every law was said to be a gift from her temple, and so the city flourished, not only with walls and towers, but with songs, with poetry, with the quiet weaving of daily life. Her presence was not distant. It was in every cup of water, every loaf of bread, every kiss of greeting, every soft word of comfort. The temple grows quieter now, the chants slow, like the fading beat of a drum. The lamps burn low, their flames shrinking to small embers. The priestesses bow and place their hands upon the stone floor. The silence grows wide, filling every corner until only the sound of the wind remains. Above, the star of Inanna shines. The morning star, though, night still holds. It glimmers with a promise. That light is always near. That balance is always within reach. That the goddess is always both above and within. Rest here in her temple. Let the stone steps hold you. Let the night air soothe you. Let the gentle flame of her star guide you into calm. The goddess of heaven and earth watches with open arms. She holds both peace and power. She carries both morning and night. She is the soft hand of love and the steady shield of protection. Sleep now under her moon. Sleep now under her star. Sleep now in her embrace. And as dreams come gently, as your breath slows, you drift onward into the quiet circle of Inanna's moonlit temple. The night drifts open like a veil. A river glimmers beneath the stars. It is wide and endless, flowing through sands that stretch forever. Its waters move slowly like breath. Its surface shines like polished stone, touched by the silver light of the moon. This is the Nile, the river of Egypt, a lifeline of the desert, a mirror of the heavens. Along its banks, palm trees sway in the quiet air. The reeds whisper like soft voices. The night birds call low and distant, and the waters keep moving, patient, eternal, carrying both memory and dream. It is here that the sacred daughters of Egypt are remembered. Isis, the loving mother, Hathor, the gentle cow of joy, Sekhmet, the fierce lioness of protection. Three goddesses, three forms of the divine feminine. Together they guarded the hearts and homes of those who lived by the Nile. The temple doors stand open. Torches burn along the stone. The air is sweet with myrrh and lotus. Inside, shadows flicker against carved walls, walls etched with the stories of these goddesses. Each figure is drawn with care. A throne upon the head of Isis, a sun disk resting between the horns of Hathor, a lioness face glowing with the strength of Sekhmet. The people came to these temples seeking safety, comfort, and love. They placed flowers in bowls of water. They left bread and honey. They whispered prayers like flowing streams. And they believed that in return, the sacred daughters would hear them, that their homes would be protected, that their children would be nourished, that their hearts would find peace. Let us drift first to Isis, the Great Mother. The throne upon her head reminds all that she is the seat of power, the one who supports the king, the one who supports life itself. Her story tells of love and devotion. She is the wife who searched for her lost husband. She is the mother who raised her son in secret, teaching him the ways of wisdom and strength. Her arms are wings, wide and sheltering. Her breath is a song of healing. Her tears, it was said, made the Nile rise each year, filling the fields with water, bringing grain, bringing life. To rest in the arms of Isis is to feel safe. She is the blanket in the night, the soft voice that hushes the child, the steady presence that never leaves. The torches flicker again. The temple walls glow with soft gold, and in this glow, Hathor steps forward. She is the goddess of joy, the cow mother, the one who carries the sun between her horns. Her eyes are kind, Her voice is gentle, like a song sung to a newborn. She is the one who brings laughter, who makes music fill the halls, who turns sorrow into dance. The people saw her in the milk that nourished children. They saw her in the sweetness of honey. They saw her in the warmth of the sun's embrace. Hathor was also the goddess of journeys. She welcomed souls after death, guiding them with love, holding them as they passed into the next world. Her presence was always tender, always bright. To think of Hathor is to think of warmth, of open skies, of the sound of a harp drifting over still waters. Yet not all nights are soft. Sometimes the desert winds roar. Sometimes illness spreads. Sometimes enemies gather at the gates. For these times Sekhmet was honored. The lioness, fierce and unyielding, her breath was the hot wind. Her eyes blazed like the midday sun. She was the protector of Egypt, the guardian of its people. Though her face was fierce, her purpose was love. She defended what was sacred. She burned away what was harmful. She carried the fire that kept darkness from swallowing the land. The people called upon her in times of need, trusting that her strength would shield them. Her image, carved in stone, was placed in temples and homes as a sign of courage. And though she was fierce, she too was a daughter of the Nile. Her power was not anger, but balance. She reminded the people that love is not always soft. Sometimes it is strong. Sometimes it stands tall, like a lioness watching over her pride. The Nile flows still outside the temple. Its waters reflect the stars, and each ripple seems like a story unfolding. The people believe that in the rhythm of the river, they could feel the heartbeat of the goddesses. Isis in its rising, Hathor in its sweetness, Sekhmet in its strength. The river gave them life, and the daughters of Egypt gave them meaning. Every dawn, when the sun rose like a golden crown above the desert, the people lifted their hands to the sky. They greeted the goddesses in song. They felt their presence in every grain of sand, in every wave of the Nile, in every breath of desert air. Imagine walking along the banks at night. The reeds rustle softly. The water laps against the shore. The air smells of lotus and damp earth. You look up, and the stars are countless. They shine like jewels across the heavens. It is said that the goddesses themselves rest among those stars, watching, guiding, whispering blessings. You feel their presence like a cloak around your shoulders. The motherly embrace of Isis, the gentle laughter of Hathor, the steady protection of Sekhmet. 3 voices, 3 lights, 3 forms of love. The temple's quiet now. The priests and priestesses lay down their instruments. The chants fall silent. Only the sound of the river remains, flowing endlessly like time itself. The goddess daughters linger still. They do not vanish when the lamps go out. They remain in the air, in the water, in the hearts of those who dream. For love has many forms. Sometimes it comforts. Sometimes it rejoices. Sometimes it protects. And in Egypt, beneath the desert sun and the moonlit Nile, these forms were given faces, names, and symbols. Isis with her throne, Hathor with her sun and horns, Sekhmet with her lioness head, each a reflection of the divine, each a reminder that love is always near. Rest now by the river's edge. Listen to the soft lap of water. Feel the calm of night folding over you. You are safe beneath their gaze. You are held in the arms of Isis. You are warmed by the light of Hathor. You are guarded by the strength of Sekhmet. The river keeps flowing. The stars keep shining. The daughters of the Nile keep watch. Now close your eyes more deeply. Let the sands grow still. Let the waters carry you. Let the night guide you. And as the stars return above the desert sky, you drift onward, carried in peace, resting in the embrace of Egypt's sacred daughters. The night leans gently across the mountains. Soft clouds drift above ridges of stone. The air is thin, cool, and filled with the faint song of crickets. Far below, valleys sleep, wrapped in silver mist. But high upon the slope of Mount Parnassus, a temple stands. Its columns rise like pale trees holding the sky. Its stones are worn by centuries, yet steady, eternal. The temple rests where earth and heaven seem to touch, where winds carry whispers, and where fire once curled upward from hidden springs. This is Delphi, the sacred heart of Greece, the place where voices from beyond were heard, where the god Apollo was honored, and where his truth was carried through the voices of women, the priestesses called the Pythia. Imagine stepping into the temple at night. The torches glow softly. The air is rich with the smell of laurel leaves and smoke. Somewhere deep inside, water trickles, cool and steady, flowing from the earth itself. The chamber is quiet, yet not silent. There is a hum, as if the mountain breathes, as if the stones remember the many prayers whispered here. In the center sits a woman, draped in white robes. Her hair catches the torchlight. Her eyes are calm, yet far away, as if gazing into a world just beyond this one. She is the Pythia, chosen, purified, prepared. She sits upon a tripod seat, and before her, smoke rises from the earth, sweet, strange, and curling like soft ribbons. The people wait in stillness. No voices break the air, only the crackle of flame, only the slow breath of the mountain. Then the priestess speaks. Her words flow like water, sometimes clear, sometimes hidden, like rivers winding through stone. Yet always her voice carries the echo of something beyond herself. To the people, this was the voice of Apollo, the god of light, music, and prophecy. Yet his words came only through her, through the soft vessel of a woman's breath. It is said that kings, warriors, and wanderers alike climbed the mountain, seeking guidance. But in this place, all were hushed, for the sound of the oracle was greater than the sound of their own hearts. The Pythia did not shout. She did not command. She spoke softly, her voice like the rustling of leaves, like wind slipping through a cave, like the first notes of a flute in the dark. Her speech was sometimes riddle, sometimes song, sometimes a phrase so simple it lingered in the mind forever. The people listened, not with the ears alone, but with the stillness of their souls. The mountain itself was sacred. The people believed it held a center, a navel of the world. And from this place, the voice of the earth rose upward, speaking through the oracle. They told of a serpent, an ancient dragon who once guarded this land. Apollo, shining with light, overcame the serpent and placed his temple where the creature had fallen. Yet its spirit remained in the ground, deep beneath the stone, sending up vapors, mysteries from the underworld. It was this breath of the earth the Pythia inhaled. It carried her between worlds, allowing her voice to become a bridge between mortals and the divine. Close your eyes for a moment and hear her chant. It does not rush. It flows slowly like a lullaby carried on the wind. Her words are layered with silence. Each pause is as deep as a cave. Each phrase drifts outward like smoke in the night air. The priests around her listen. They write, they shape, they carry her whispers outward to the waiting crowd. Yet the softness of her voice remains. It lingers in the temple walls. It curls upward into the stars. To those who came, the oracle was not only a source of answers. She was a presence, a reminder of the mystery within all things. She reminded them that the divine does not always shout. Sometimes it speaks in echoes, in fragments, in voices that fade like dreams upon waking. And yet, those faint voices guide us. They bend the paths of lives as rivers bend across the desert sand. The priestesses of Delphi were not one alone. Through the centuries, many women sat upon the tripod. Each was chosen with care. Each was purified in spring water. Each was crowned with laurel leaves, the plant of Apollo. They fasted, they prayed, they listened. And when the time came, they breathed the mountain's breath and allowed their voices to be carried away. In their service, they became timeless. They were not daughters of one family, but daughters of the earth itself. Voices of the divine feminine anchored in the mountain, flowing into the world. The temple bells are quiet now. The fires burn lower. Shadows deepen against the marble columns. Outside, the mountain air is cool. The stars above are bright, as if drawn closer by the stillness of night. Imagine walking down the steps from the temple. The stone beneath your feet is smooth and ancient. The path curves through olive trees. Their leaves shimmer silver in the moonlight. Far below, the valley spreads wide and dark. The river shines like a ribbon of glass, and the sound of the oracle lingers in your ears, not as words, but as a hum, a rhythm, a memory of peace. For the oracle was never only about answers. She was about listening. She was about stillness. She was about trust in what cannot be seen. And in this way, her voice was like a dream. Not always clear, not always sharp, but always carrying meaning, always guiding the heart. The priestesses of Delphi remind us even now that the world itself is alive with whispers, that beneath every stone, beneath every tree, beneath every breath of wind, something speaks. You need only quiet yourself to hear it. You need only close your eyes. You need only drift into the gentle silence. Now the mountain grows darker. The torches are gone. Only moonlight remains, resting softly on the columns of the temple. The priestess has returned to her chamber. The laurel leaves are set aside. The scrolls are rolled and kept, but the dream of her voice continues. It floats in the air. It rests in the stone. It hums in the quiet night. Rest now as though you too are sitting before the temple. Rest as though the mountain breathes around you. Rest as though Apollo's light still shines, soft and golden, within your heart. The words of the Pythia fade into silence, yet the silence is full, like a sky filled with stars. Let it cradle you. Let it soften your breath. Let it guide you into stillness. The mountain holds you. The night carries you. The oracle's chant drifts onward, into dreams, into peace. Now rest as the stars return, and the winds of Delphi whisper you to sleep. The night stretches wide over distant hills. The air is cool, touched with the breath of pines. Stars rest like silver lanterns above ridges of stone, and there, in the stillness of the earth, one can almost hear a rhythm, a low and steady heartbeat, the sound of the land itself. This is the domain of Cybele, the Great Mother, Lady of Mountains, Guardian of Fields, and Protector of cities that rose beneath her watch. She was honored in Anatolia's crags, and later in the grand marble streets of Rome. Her presence was felt not in thunder, but in the deep and constant pulse of the earth. Imagine the ancient mountains of Phrygia, their slopes covered in cedar and oak, streams cutting through valleys, caves hidden in shadows where wind sang soft songs as they passed. Here, the people first lifted their eyes and saw the mountain as mother, firm, vast, shelter to animals and trees, provider of stone, of water, of life. They carved her image into rock faces. They painted her in temples. Always, she was seated upon a throne, often with lions beside her, fierce guardians at her feet. In her hand, a drum, round as the turning earth, echoing like a heartbeat across the hills. The lions at her side were not only beasts, they were symbols. They spoke of power held with grace, wild strength softened by the presence of the mother. For even in the roar of the lioness there is protection, a defense of life. And the drum, the round frame struck with steady rhythm, reminded her children of the earth's endless pulse, the heartbeat that rises in soil, in rivers, in every living thing. To listen to Cybele was to sit in silence and hear the low hum of existence itself. It was to know that life flows in cycles, that every seed returns as grain, that every dawn follows night. As her worship spread, people carried her symbols into cities. Rome welcomed her as Magna Mater, the Great Mother. Her image arrived with great ceremony, a sacred stone believed to hold her essence. It was placed upon the Palatine Hill so that the eternal city would be guarded by the power of the Mountain Mother. Her festivals were filled with sound, the beating of drums, the clash of cymbals, the high song of flutes. Yet beneath the music, always the same message. Life endures, life protects, life holds us as a mother holds a child. Now close your eyes and imagine her temple. Columns rise against the sky. Torches flicker against carved stone. Priests and priestesses move in white robes, their steps slow, their voices chanting. At the center, her image sits tall, crowned with a mural crown, a crown shaped like city walls. For Cybele was not only mother of fields and forests, but also of the city, the human hearth, the stone streets where lives unfolded. She embraced both wilderness and walls, both lion and plow, both forest root and marble column. To her followers, she was not distant. She was not hidden in clouds. She was close, present in the rustling of leaves, present in the roar of beasts, present in the silence of the earth at dawn. They told stories of her endless strength, of her ability to heal the broken ground, to bring rain upon thirsty soil, to guard the gates of towns, and they felt her as a mother feels her child, always watching, always holding, always near. Picture yourself upon a quiet mountain slope. The air is cool, carrying the scent of herbs. Beneath your feet, the earth is firm. From the distance, a drum begins, soft, slow. Each beat spreads through the ground, through the soil, through your chest, until your own heart moves with it. The drum does not hurry. It does not demand. It simply reminds you of the rhythm beneath all things, the rhythm that was before you and will continue long after. This is Cybele's gift, the gift of knowing that life holds you just as the mountain holds the valley, steady, unshaken. Her followers often danced to the sound of her music. They moved in circles as stars move in the sky. They swayed as branches sway in the wind. Their steps echoed the eternal cycle, birth and return, growth and rest. But even as voices rose, there was always a quiet lesson, that beneath sound lies silence, that beneath motion lies stillness, and in that stillness the Great Mother breathes. Stories tell that she once loved a beautiful youth named Attis. But Attis, fragile as the spring, fell into sorrow and death. Cybele's grief was vast, yet from her tears life returned. The pine tree became sacred to her, ever green, ever living. This story reminded her children that loss is never the end, that even in silence roots remain, that even in winter the seed is not gone. The earth holds it close, waiting for the season of return. And so, in the story of Attis, there was not only sorrow, but hope, the hope of endless renewal. The Romans honored her with festivals in springtime. Fields bloomed with flowers. Crowds gathered to celebrate her strength. And though the songs were loud, their meaning was quiet. A promise of protection, a promise that earth itself was mother. Those who carried her drum carried more than music. They carried a reminder that the world itself sings, that every footstep is echoed in the soil, that every heartbeat is part of a greater rhythm. Now, let the image soften. The festival fades, the voices dim, the flutes quiet, the cymbals rest. You are left only with the steady beat of a drum. It echoes far away like a pulse through stone, slow, calm, each beat a breath, each beat a step deeper into rest. The lions lie quietly at her feet. The torches flicker low. The Great Mother sits upon her throne of stone, watching with eyes of endless calm. Beneath her, the earth sleeps. Seeds rest in soil. Rivers curl slowly through valleys. Mountains stand in silence, their roots deep as time. Above her, the sky glitters. Stars turn in slow circles. The moon drifts silver and soft. And in between, the world breathes with her. She does not hurry. She does not change. She remains. A mother of mountains, a mother of cities, a mother of hearts. Rest with her now. Feel the mountain beneath you. Feel the slow, steady drum of the earth. Let it guide your breath, gentle and calm. The lions sleep. The torches fade. The night grows deeper. Cybele's voice is not a word. It is the hush of wind in pine trees. It is the murmur of water over stone. It is the quiet beat of the drum. Always present. Always holding you. Let us drift onward now, carried by her rhythm. Let the heartbeat of earth become the heartbeat of your rest. The Great Mother remains, watching over the valleys, watching over the cities, watching over the sleeping soul. Now rest, as the stars return, and the mountains cradle you in silence. The night is hushed. The stars linger like quiet guardians scattered across the velvet sky. A breeze moves slowly through the olive trees, carrying the faint scent of earth and leaves. In the stillness there is a glow, soft, steady, alive. It is not the light of the moon, nor the shimmer of stars. It is the fire of the hearth, the gentle flame of Hestia. You drift closer, as if carried by the warmth itself. The flame waits inside a simple home of stone and wood. Its light spills softly over clay jars, woven baskets, and smooth floor tiles worn by many steps. The fire is not fierce, not wild. It is quiet, steady, and calm, like a heart that never falters. This is Hestia's gift, the spirit of the home, the warmth that never abandons. Hestia was the firstborn child of the Titans, daughter of Cronus and Rhea. She was among the eldest, yet she stepped aside, yielding her throne to others. She did not seek rule, nor fame, nor loud devotion. Instead, she chose stillness. She chose the place at the center, the place where family gathers, where stories are told, where food is shared, and where night finds its comfort. Her throne was the hearth itself, a seat of fire hidden yet eternal. For the Greeks, no meal began without her flame. No offering to the gods was given without her first blessing. For Hestia was presence itself, the gentle reminder that safety rests in warmth, and warmth rests in home. The fire whispers softly as you watch. The logs do not crack loudly. They sigh. Their glow is like the breath of a sleeping child. Each spark rises and fades, like a thought drifting into dream. You feel your own body sink, as though the flame has wrapped you in its glow. The ancients said that every city kept her fire burning. From one flame, another was lit, carried carefully in clay lanterns until every household shared its glow. It was more than light, more than heat. It was a thread that tied every person together, a golden thread of belonging, of quiet care. Hestia's flame was never loud, never raging. It was never meant to destroy, only to guard. Like the slow pulse of a heart, it burned with calm strength. It was said that she never left her hearth to wander, never abandoned her place. She was always there, silent, invisible, yet holding everything together. She was the center around which life revolved. In temples of marble, gods were honored with statues, columns, and song. But Hestia's temple was simpler. Her temple was the home, the circle of stones that held the flame, the hands that placed bread upon the table, the gentle laughter shared by family. All of it was her shrine. Imagine now the flame glowing in a small Greek village. The night air cools, the fields lie silent. Within the walls of every home her fire flickers. Children close their eyes beside it, their dreams warmed by her care. Elders rest with the comfort of its steady light. Even the wanderer returning from long roads finds solace, for the hearth never asks where one has been. It only welcomes. The flame is more than fire. It is memory. It holds the shape of those who sat before it. It carries the echoes of stories, the rhythm of songs, the hush of whispered prayers. Generations have passed, yet the flame remembers them all, holding them like stars in its glow. You can feel your breath settle as you imagine it. Inhale, as the fire glows steady. Exhale, as its warmth spreads softly through the room. There is no need to speak. The flame speaks without words. It says you are safe. You are held. Rest here, in the circle of light. The ancients honored Hestia first and last. When a meal began, her name was spoken before all others. When the last piece of food was shared, her flame was thanked again. She was both the beginning and the ending, the first spark of morning and the final glow of night. A rhythm, gentle and eternal. A circle, unbroken. The flame flickers, yet it never dies. In this, Hestia teaches that calm is not emptiness. It is not absence, but presence. It is the strength of stillness, the peace of patience, the power of gentleness. She is the goddess who chose not to wander, who chose not to rule, but to remain steady. And in that steadiness she became eternal. Let your body feel that steadiness now. The quiet strength of a fire that has always burned. The soft light that has always waited. You do not need to reach for it. It is already here. Like the hearth at the heart of the home, it has always been part of you. Silent, glowing, patient. The ancients carried her fire into new lands. When colonies were founded, they brought a flame from the mother city. They set it upon a new hearth, and in that way they brought with them memory, family, and belonging. No matter how far they traveled, the fire tied them back to where they began. It was the light that said, "You are never truly apart. You are always connected." The flame flickers softly before you now. It does not rush. It does not strain. It simply is. And in its being, it teaches you the art of peace. Even the gods respected her quiet power. When quarrels rose, when tempers flared, Hestia remained untouched. Her hearth was the place of truce, the place where no battle could follow. No anger dared to disturb her fire. For who could fight beside the flame that fed them? Who could shout over the warmth that cradled them? So the flame became sanctuary. Not a fortress of stone, not a wall of weapons, but a circle of light, a place where voices softened, a place where hands unclenched, a place where souls remembered gentleness. You may picture the flame now as a circle around you, soft, golden, steady. It is not a wall, it is a blanket. It holds you in stillness, in comfort. Every breath you take, the flame breathes with you. Every thought that drifts, the fire receives gently, like sparks rising into the night. The night deepens. The stars shine more quietly now, as if listening to the flame. The air grows cool, yet the warmth inside remains. The fire does not falter. Its glow rests on your face, your hands, your heart. The world may turn, winds may change, but the hearth does not abandon. It is always here. Hestia's story is not one of great battles or mighty deeds. It is a story of stillness, a story of presence. It is the reminder that peace is not far away. It is at the center, waiting, glowing, breathing with you. Let your thoughts now soften into embers. Let your body rest as if beside the ancient hearth. The fire glows quietly. Its light is endless. Its warmth is yours. Now, as the night folds more deeply around you, Let the flame carry you into dream. Its glow will follow, steady and kind, guiding you into rest. For Hestia never leaves the hearth, and her flame never leaves you. So let go, as the sparks rise softly into the stars. Let go as the warmth settles gently into your chest. Let go as sleep drifts nearer. The gentle fire of Hestia remains, silent, steady, eternal. Now rest as the stars return. Now rest as the flame watches over you. Now rest as the night carries you deeper, softer, safer. Into dream night has fallen gently over the sea. The waters of the Aegean breathe in and out, like the chest of a sleeping world. Moonlight drapes itself across the waves, and the island of Crete lies quiet beneath the silver glow. Olive trees rest in stillness, their leaves whispering softly when the breeze passes. And from the cliffs, you can see the dark ocean stretch endlessly, a mirror of the star-strewn sky. Here, in this calm and ancient land, dreams are carried by the sea. And in those dreams the goddess of the Minoans rises, soft, radiant, eternal. She moves not as a ruler of thunder or war, but as a dancer, as a wave, as the living breath of earth and water. Her symbols speak through the creatures of the island, the dolphin that leaps joyfully, the snake that coils with patience, the lilies that bloom with fragrance in the spring. Each symbol is a thread woven into the great tapestry of her being. The sea breathes slowly, and with it the story begins. In the palaces of Crete, long ago, the walls were covered in color. Frescoes glowed with red and gold, with blue as deep as the sky after rain. They showed women in flowing skirts, their waists slender, their hair dark and curling like waves. They danced with arms lifted, skirts swirling like the sea in motion. Their steps were graceful, their eyes filled with light. Through them, the goddess moved. Through them, the people of Crete gave thanks for life, for harvest, for the song of the earth. The Minoans knew the sea was their lifeblood. Its waves brought fish, its tides carried ships, its winds told stories of far-off lands, and so they painted dolphins on their walls, playful, leaping, radiant. The dolphins were companions of the goddess, joy-bringers, messengers of her blessing. Each leap across painted waters was a hymn of freedom, a hymn of delight. The snake, too, was sacred. It slid softly through soil and stone, disappearing and reappearing as if it belonged to both earth and mystery. The snake shed its skin and was renewed, a symbol of life's endless cycle of rebirth and transformation. In the hands of the goddess, the snake was not fear but wisdom. It was the secret rhythm of the world, patient and unending. And then there were the lilies. They bloomed in the meadows, their petals soft as silk, their fragrance drifting on warm breezes. Painted upon the walls, carved into stone, they became symbols of purity and grace. The lily was the earth smiling, the quiet joy of spring after winter. It was beauty that needed no words, only presence. Together, dolphins, snakes, and lilies formed her song. The sea, the soil, the bloom, each flowing into the other, none apart, all joined in harmony. The women who danced for her mirrored this song. Their skirts swirled like water, their arms curved like waves, their steps rose and fell like tides. They moved as if the ocean itself pulsed through their veins. Some say they danced upon rooftops closer to the sky. Some say they danced in courtyards, beneath the open air, the fragrance of flowers surrounding them. Wherever they danced, they were never alone. The goddess danced with them. The earth and the sea joined them. The stars above mirrored their motion. Picture them now. Their skirts ripple like the sea at dusk. Their arms sweep upward, like dolphins breaking through the waves. Their hair shines in the moonlight, flowing behind them like streams of night. They are not hurried. They are not tense. Every step is slow, measured, eternal. Every movement is a prayer. Every motion a blessing. The Minoan goddess was called by many names, though none are spoken the same across time. To her people, she was simply the mother, the lady of the labyrinth, the heart of Crete. She was the spirit that lived in every stone, every tree, every breath of wind. She did not thunder from above, but whispered through the soil, through the waves, through the beating of the human heart. And so, the dancers carried her presence with each step. When they lifted their arms, it was the sea lifting its waves. When they turned, it was the earth turning beneath the stars. When their skirts flowed, it was the rivers winding gently to the shore. The palace of Knossos, with its many rooms and passages, was said to be like a labyrinth itself. Its walls were painted with flowing shapes, curling like spirals, endless and mysterious. The labyrinth was not a trap, but a mirror of life. Each path twisted, each turn unfolded, each step carried meaning. At the heart of the labyrinth, as at the heart of every home, was the goddess. She was not lost within it. She was the center itself, the place of stillness, the place of knowing. And when the dancers moved, they traced her labyrinth with their steps. Their feet described its circles, their arms unfolded its spirals. They embodied the pattern of life, the path of return, the eternal weaving of all things. Close your eyes and imagine the rhythm of their dance, slow, steady like the tide. Their skirts brush the air, whispering like waves upon sand. Their bracelets chime softly like seashells kissed by water. Their feet rise and fall with patience like a heartbeat. It is the sound of belonging, the sound of being carried, the sound of rest. The goddess of Crete was also honored with drums, deep low drums that echoed like the earth's own heart. Their sound was never hurried, never harsh. It pulsed, slow and steady, beneath the dancers' steps, like distant thunder rolling across the mountains, like the hush of waves beneath cliffs. The drums kept the rhythm of life itself. With every beat, the dancers sank deeper into the song of the world. With every turn, they wove themselves into the sea's eternal dance, and those who watched felt their own hearts soften, their own breaths slow, their own bodies sway gently, as if the goddess herself had reached into them and guided them back to calm. The night deepens now. The moon hangs higher, its light spilling silver upon the waves. The frescoes fade into memory, yet their colors linger. The skirts still move in your mind, soft as ripples on still water. The dolphins leap, the snakes curl, the lilies bloom, all of them shining within the great dance of the goddess. You feel her presence not as thunder, but as warmth, not as command, but as embrace. She is in the rhythm of your breath. She is in the stillness of your chest as it rises and falls. She is in the quiet beat of your heart, steady as the drum, endless as the sea. Her dancers remind you that life is not a rush. It is a flowing. It is a movement, a turning, a circling, a swaying. It is the ocean breathing, the earth blooming, the stars wheeling slowly above. And within it, you are not lost. You are carried. You are part of the dance. Let yourself sink now into her rhythm. Feel the waves rocking beneath you. Feel the ground holding you firm and kind. Feel the lilies opening around you, their fragrance soft and light. Feel the dolphins leaping above you, joyous and free. And feel the dancer's skirts brushing past, as if the sea itself has wrapped you in its flowing folds. The night grows still. The fireflies drift like sparks across the dark. The drums are distant now, their echoes fading into the horizon. The dancers slow, their steps softer, their arms lowered. Yet the goddess remains, her presence steady as the tide, gentle as the night air. And so you rest within her dance. Your breath flows with the sea. Your body sways with the waves. Your heart beats with the drum. You are safe, carried by her embrace. Now drift onward as the waves carry you deeper. Now rest as the dolphins leap in your dreams. Now soften as the lilies open in your sleep. Now close your eyes as the skirts of the dancers fold around you, like blankets of the sea. The goddess is here. The dancers are here. The sea is here, and you are at rest. The night rests softly upon the earth. A silver moon leans over fields that seem endless in their silence. The wind brushes gently through tall grasses, making them bend and sway like slow, sleepy waves. Stars scatter across the dark sky, each one glowing like a grain of light. Somewhere, far off, the faint hum of crickets carries through the still air. In this quiet night, the spirit of the harvest is near. She has walked these fields since the first seeds were sown, since hands first turned soil to meet the sun. Her name is Demeter, goddess of grain, mother of the fertile fields. She is the warmth of bread, the comfort of the hearth, the cycle of life returning with every season. Her touch is gentle, yet it sustains all who live. And tonight, she moves slowly through the dream of the earth, carrying her torch glowing like a second moon. Long ago, before lamps or lanterns, people gathered around her fire. They watched her wheat sway golden in the breeze, tall and proud under the light of Helios, the sun. To them, wheat was not only food, it was life itself. Each seed was a promise, small and hidden, yet holding the future within. Each harvest was a blessing, an answer to prayers spoken quietly to the soil. Demeter was the one who gave this gift. She taught the ancients to sow and reap, to tend and nurture, to trust in the slow rhythm of the earth. With her came the knowledge that life returns, that after the fall of leaves and the stillness of winter, green shoots rise once more. She showed that nothing truly ends. It only changes, waits, and returns again. Her torch, bright in the night, symbolized this hope, a light in darkness, a guide in sorrow, a reminder that even loss carries the seed of return. But Demeter's story was not only of giving, it was also of grief and of waiting. Her beloved daughter Persephone was taken into the shadowed realm below the earth. For a time Demeter wandered the world, searching with her torch, her heart heavy with loss. The fields grew barren, the soil cold, for the mother of grain had withdrawn her gift. The people waited, hungry and afraid, for the return of growth. Yet, as all cycles do, the story turned. Persephone rose again, returning to her mother with the seasons' change. And with her return the earth bloomed. Wheat rose golden once more. Flowers opened. Rivers sang again. It was through this story that people learned the meaning of the seasons. That spring is not born by chance, but by the return of love. That harvest comes through patience, through cycles of loss and renewal. And so, Demeter became not only the goddess of food, but the goddess of memory, of waiting, of the gentle return of light after dark. Imagine now the fields under her care. Rows of golden wheat stretch out to the horizon. Each stalk bends in the breeze, brushing softly against its neighbor, like 1,000 voices whispering in unison. When the sun rises, the wheat shines like fire, a living sea of gold. When the sun sets, the stalks glow softly, as if holding the day's light within their husks. The farmers walk through the fields, hands grazing the tops of the grain. They feel the blessing of Demeter in each kernel, each stem, each breath of wind. They know that in these fields is life itself, bread for the body, peace for the soul. And in the stillness of night, the goddess herself drifts through the fields. She bends down, her hand brushing the soft earth. Seeds glow faintly beneath her touch, as though the soil remembers her. Her torch lights the path, not with harshness, but with a golden warmth. It is the kind of light that makes shadows gentle, that makes the night feel like a home. Her presence is not loud. It is patient, like the turning of seasons. It is steady, like the breath of the earth. When she walks, you can almost hear the rhythm of the cycle. Plant, grow, harvest, rest. Loss, waiting, return, joy. The ancients knew this rhythm, for they lived within it. Their lives followed the same steps as the wheat they tended. They sowed with hope, waited with patience, reaped with gratitude, and trusted the soil to hold them again. Demeter's gift was not only grain, it was the wisdom of trust, that nothing is wasted, that every loss carries the whisper of return. Close your eyes and listen to the sound of the fields. The wind moves gently through the stalks, a soft rustling like rain on leaves. The earth breathes beneath, warm and steady. The torch glows in the distance, its flame swaying like a slow heartbeat. It is not a fire to fear, but a flame to rest beside. It does not burn, it comforts. It does not demand, it embraces. The wheat bends, then rises again. The earth falls into winter, then awakens again. The heart feels loss, then opens again. This is Demeter's song, a lullaby of cycles, a hymn of return. The ancients built her temples with columns tall as trees, carved of stone yet alive with prayer. They offered her the first fruits of the harvest, bowls of grain, loaves of bread still warm, honey dripping golden like sunlight made sweet. And in return she offered them the promise of tomorrow. The knowledge that the soil, though quiet, always listens, that the fields, though bare, always prepare, that life, though hidden, always waits to bloom. Her worship was not of thunder or conquest. It was of care, of daily bread, of hands kneading dough, of fire-warming homes. She was present not in battles, but in kitchens, not in palaces, but in fields, not in fear, but in love. And to this day, when bread is broken, when wheat bends golden in the wind, her presence lingers, soft, unseen, eternal. Now, in the dream of this night, the torch of Demeter glows softly at your side. Its light is golden, steady, calm. You walk beside her through the fields, your steps slow, your breath easy. Each stalk of wheat brushes your hands, each one whispering a promise. Rest will return. Light will return. Love will return. She leads you through the cycles of the earth, not as lessons, but as lullabies. Her voice is the rustle of grain. Her song is the hum of crickets. Her rhythm is the turning of seasons. You feel the weight of loss soften, knowing that return always follows. You feel the fear of darkness ease, knowing that dawn always comes. You feel the stillness of night not as emptiness, but as fertile soil waiting to bloom. The stars above shine more brightly now, as though listening. The moon drifts higher, silver upon silver, watching the earth below. The fields glow with quiet light, the wheat swaying in time with your breath. The torch flickers once, then steadies, its flame strong and kind. Demeter lowers her hand, and the seeds within the soil stir. Though unseen, they begin their slow journey toward life. Though hidden, they prepare to rise. And so too does your spirit, resting now, waiting in calm, ready for renewal when the dawn arrives. The night is full, yet peaceful. The earth breathes. The torch glows. The cycle turns. Let yourself drift now into the fertile fields of sleep. Let the wheat bend around you, soft as blankets of gold. Let the earth cradle you, steady and kind. Let Demeter's torch shine softly in your dreams, guiding you gently through the night. The cycle is safe. The cycle is kind. You are part of it. You are held within it. Now drift onward as the fields sway beneath the moon. Now rest as the stars return to their silent watch. Now sleep as the mother of fertile fields carries you into her embrace. The night is quiet. The air is cool, resting gently against the skin. Above, the stars seem patient and endless, scattered like grains of silver across a deep velvet sky. A pale moon hangs low, its light soft, its glow like a lantern guiding weary travelers through the dark. The earth feels still, as though holding its breath. It is in this stillness that Persephone's story unfolds, slow, tender, eternal. Her tale is not one of fear, but of rhythm. It is the rhythm of descent and return, of rest and awakening, of winter's hush and spring's blossoming song. And so, as the fields rest beneath the night sky, let us follow her gently, step by step, as though tracing the slow current of a dream. Long ago, Persephone wandered among meadows. The grasses rose soft around her ankles. Wildflowers opened in her path, violet, saffron, and bright lilies swaying with the morning breeze. She moved as though the earth itself blossomed beneath her steps. Her hands brushed petals, and the flowers leaned closer, drawn to her quiet grace. In this meadow, sunlight poured like honey. Birds lifted their wings, circling gently above. The air smelled of blossoms, of life fresh and pure. Everywhere was abundance, and everywhere was song. For Persephone was not only a maiden among flowers, she was the spirit of spring itself, carrying the promise of new life within her. Yet even as she walked, the earth stirred beneath. The soil quivered, as though holding a secret too long. And in that moment, the meadow shifted. A soft shadow crept across the grasses. The wind slowed, the air hushed, and the path beneath Persephone opened like a doorway into the deep unknown. From the earth's heart rose a dark chariot, its wheels glimmering like obsidian under the fading sun. Hades, the keeper of the underworld, came forth. Yet here let us not see him as fear, but as silence itself. The silence of winter, the hush of seeds buried in soil, the pause before renewal. Persephone was drawn into this realm, carried downward into the quiet depths. The meadow closed above her. The flowers folded back into their roots. The birds fell still. What had been bright and blooming became hushed, waiting.
This was the moment of descent.
Not an end, but a turning. Not loss, but rest. The underworld is not a place of terror in this dream. It is a place of stillness. Imagine it now. Caverns wide as mountains, their ceilings glittering faintly with crystals that catch what little light drifts down. The air is cool, not cruel, like the shade of a forest in midsummer. Rivers run slowly here, their waters dark and reflective, carrying secrets softly to unseen places. The ground is quiet, holding the weight of ages in its stone embrace. Persephone walked through this realm, her torch glowing gently in her hands. It was not a flame of fear, but of guidance. The flame swayed like a lullaby, lighting the path without breaking the stillness. Her steps echoed softly, each one steady, each one calm. Here, time feels different. It stretches like a long exhale. The days are not counted in hours, but in heartbeats, in breaths, in seasons yet to come. The underworld is not a prison, it is a cradle, a place where the seed rests unseen, waiting for spring. Above the earth, Demeter searched with her own torch, her heart heavy, her fields bare. The soil lay cold, the grasses withered. The people waited in hunger, whispering prayers to the sky. For without Persephone, the world held no bloom, no growth. The earth had fallen into winter's hush. But below, Persephone began to understand the mystery. Her descent was not the end. It was the pause between breaths, the dream before awakening, the silence that makes music sweeter when it returns. And so she rested in the underworld, her torch steady, her presence bringing even to the shadows a soft grace. One day, a pomegranate was offered to her. Its skin was deep red, glowing like the heart of the earth itself. She touched it gently, feeling the weight of its seeds. To eat of it was to accept her place in the cycle, not to stay forever below, nor forever above, but to move between. And so, she tasted the seeds. They held within them the promise of return, the bond between worlds, the joining of seasons. Through them, she became part of both realms, of the living fields above and the quiet soil below. Through them, she became the balance itself. When Persephone returned to her mother, the earth rejoiced. Fields burst with green, blossoms opened in a single breath. Rivers sang louder, freed from their hush. Birds spread their wings once more, circling joyously in the bright sky. It was spring again. The world, after its silence, had bloomed anew. The people gathered wheat, plucked fruit, raised their hands in thanks to Demeter and to her daughter who had returned. Every petal, every seed, carried the memory of Persephone's journey, for they knew she would descend again, and they knew she would return. This was the gift of her mystery, that every ending is also a beginning. That descent leads to return, that even in darkness, light waits quietly, ready to rise again. Imagine now, as you rest, the gentle rhythm of her story, the meadow bright and open, the descent soft and slow, the underworld hushed and still, the return full of blossoms and song. It is a circle, steady and kind. It moves without haste, without fear. It is the same rhythm that carries the seasons, that moves the stars, that guides the breath in your chest. Downward, then upward. Silence, then music. Rest, then awakening. Close your eyes and see Persephone walking through fields of flowers once more. The petals open toward her. The air smells sweet and alive. The sun warms gently across her shoulders. And yet, deep within the soil, seeds sleep, waiting for their turn. For they know she will descend again. They know she will return again. And so the cycle continues, always gentle, always sure. The torch of Persephone glows beside you now. Its flame sways softly, golden and kind. It lights your path, not upward, not downward, but inward, into the quiet rhythm of rest. You feel safe, knowing that every silence carries a song within it. Every night carries the whisper of dawn. Every dream carries the seed of awakening. Above, the moon drifts slowly. The stars shimmer, patient and endless. The earth lies still, yet full, as though holding its breath for spring. And within this stillness, Persephone's mystery rests with you. There is no need to hurry, no need to hold tightly. The cycle carries itself. The seed will rise. The dawn will come. The spring will return. Let your breath move like the seasons. Slow, steady, sure. Inhale like the budding of spring. Exhale like the falling of leaves. Rest like the seed in winter soil. Rise like the flower in sunlight. Now drift gently into Persephone's dream. Walk with her through meadows. Rest with her in the underworld's quiet halls. Rise with her when the blossoms open once more. For her story is not only hers, it is yours as well. It is the rhythm of your nights and mornings, the turning of your seasons, the hush of your rest, and the brightness of your waking. And now, the night holds you in its arms. The stars watch gently. The earth breathes steadily. Persephone's torch glows beside you, soft as a lullaby. Let us drift onward into the fertile silence of sleep. Now rest as the stars return to their endless watch. Now sleep as the mystery of Persephone cradles you in her gentle cycle. The night is calm. A silver moon lingers above the horizon, pouring its glow across the quiet sea. The waves roll gently, their voices soft as whispers. The shore gleams like glass, each grain of sand catching the starlight. The air is warm, touched by salt, touched by memory. Here, upon this dreamlike coast, The story of Aphrodite begins. She rises not from shadow, nor from stone, but from the sea itself. Foam gathers in swirls, white and luminous, glowing beneath the moon's tender watch. From the depths a figure emerges, her hair flowing like silk in the tide, her skin radiant as dawn. She stands upon a seashell, drifting gracefully toward the shore, as though carried on the breath of the waves. This is Aphrodite, goddess of love, of beauty, of the gentle bond between hearts. Her presence is not fierce, but soft, like petals unfolding in the morning light. Her symbols, the dove, the shell, the rose, speak of tenderness, of longing, of the sweetness woven through all life. The dove circles above her, wings wide, feathers white as cloud. Its coo is gentle, a lullaby carried on the night air. The bird does not rush, does not startle. It drifts as she drifts, calm and unhurried. In its quiet call we hear the voice of peace, of harmony, of love's soft patience. At her feet rests the shell, gleaming like pearl. It is both cradle and vessel, a reminder of birth from the sea. Its spiral curves inward, endless and eternal, like the unfolding path of the heart itself. It carries the song of the ocean, a song without beginning or end, a song that hums gently beneath all things. And in her hands, the rose, a bloom of deep crimson, petals soft as sighs. It is beauty made visible, fragrance made touchable. The rose does not shout, it whispers. Its presence is tender, its color rich with longing, its form delicate yet eternal. Through it, Aphrodite reminds the world of love's quiet strength and of beauty's healing grace. Imagine now the island where she stepped ashore. Cyprus, kissed by dawn, its cliffs glowing with light. Olive trees bend toward the wind, their leaves shimmering like silver. The waters sparkle, endless and bright. Here she brought with her not war, not fear, but sweetness. The sweetness of touch, of gaze, of the bond that makes all life bloom. The people built her temples of marble, tall and white as foam. Within them, roses were laid at her feet, doves released into the sky. Torches burned with soft flame, not to ward off darkness, but to invite warmth. Everywhere her presence was felt, not as command, but as embrace. For Aphrodite's love was not only for lovers. It was for the fields that blossom, for the rivers that flow, for the friendships that hold hands through time. It was for every tender glance, every kind word, every touch that reminds the heart it is not alone. The rose itself holds her mystery. It begins as a bud, closed and quiet, holding its secret close. Slowly it unfolds, petal after petal, breath after breath. Each layer reveals more beauty, yet the center remains infinite, always holding more. So is love, so is the spirit. It is endless, unfolding, ever blooming. The thorns, too, are part of its truth. They guard the bloom, reminding us that beauty is precious, not to be taken without care. Yet even the thorn, sharp though it may be, serves the blossom. Even challenge becomes part of tenderness, for love, like the rose, holds both softness and strength. In the evening, when the world grew quiet, people lit small lamps in her honor. Their flames flickered like stars fallen to the earth. They whispered prayers of longing, of hope, of gratitude. Some asked for lovers to return. Some asked for peace in their homes. Some simply wished to be reminded that they too carried beauty within. And Aphrodite, from the sea's horizon, heard them. Not with ears, but with the endless heart. Her presence drifted into their dreams, into their breaths. The dove cooed above their windows. The rose bloomed in their gardens. The sea whispered at their doors. And in these gentle signs they felt her answer. Her story is not a tale of battles. It is a song of touch. It is the moment when two hands meet after being apart. It is the smile that rises unbidden. It is the softness that lingers in silence between words. It is the tide that returns always without fail, kissing the shore again and again. The sea itself carries her memory. Each wave a heartbeat, each ripple a sigh. Each tide a reminder that love does not vanish. It only ebbs, only flows, always returning, always alive. The ocean cradles her, as the heart cradles longing, as sleep cradles dreams. As you rest now, picture the rose of Aphrodite. Its petals are cool with dew, its fragrance soft and sweet. It rests beside you, not to be taken, not to be lost, but to remind you. Remind you of tenderness that cannot be broken. Remind you of beauty that cannot be dimmed. Remind you of love that drifts like the tide, steady and sure. The dove spreads its wings above your quiet form. Its feathers brush the air, calm as a lullaby. Its presence is peace itself, guiding you deeper into stillness. The shell lies at your side, its spiral humming like the ocean's breath. Its song cradles you, rocking you gently, like a vessel upon calm waters. Aphrodite watches not from afar, but from within your breath, within your heartbeat, within the softness that surrounds you now. Her flame is not fire, but the glow of calm that warms your chest as you drift. Night deepens. The stars grow brighter, each one like a rose in the sky, opening its petals of light. The moon lingers, patient, glowing. The waves continue their slow dance, foam curling, whispers weaving, and in this endless rhythm the goddess remains. She holds the rose, eternal and soft. She carries the dove, gentle and free. She rests upon the shell, drifting as dreams drift. Her mystery is not hard to grasp. It is simple, like a sigh, like a touch, like a wave. Love, beauty, tenderness. These are her gifts. They are already here, already near, already within. And as you rest, they bloom around you like roses in the dark. They fold you into their fragrance, into their softness, into their gentle tide. Now let the night carry you. Let the rose rest beside your pillow. Let the dove's wings brush across your dream. Let the shell rock you upon the calm waters of sleep. There is nothing to hold, nothing to fear. Only the tide, only the rose, only the gentle flame of Aphrodite's gift. The gift of calm, the gift of love, the gift of safe and endless rest. Let us drift onward into the quiet embrace of night. Now rest as the stars return, and the rose of Aphrodite blooms softly in your dream. Night settles slowly, like a cloak drawn across the shoulders of the earth. The moon climbs above the horizon, pale and round, bathing the forest in silver. The trees stand tall and still, their leaves trembling only with the gentlest breath of wind. An owl calls softly from the shadows. The air is cool, touched by dew, touched by silence. In this stillness, her presence is felt. The huntress of the moon, the eternal Artemis, moves quietly beneath the branches. Her steps are light, soundless upon the moss. Her eyes are bright, as if they hold the reflection of every star. She carries her bow across her back, curved like a crescent moon. At her side, the deer follow, graceful, quiet, unafraid. Artemis is the guardian of wild places. She belongs not to stone temples alone, but to the groves, the rivers, the mountains where mist lingers at dawn. Her spirit lives in the rush of streams, in the quiet watch of deer, in the whisper of pine needles high above. To walk through her forest is to walk within her embrace. Every leaf seems to shimmer with her touch, every shadow shaped by her gaze. The moon is her lantern, guiding her path through the night. It glows softly, never harsh, never burning. Like a mother's hand, it lights the way without demanding. The light spreads over the hills and the lakes, weaving silver into darkness. In that glow, Artemis is eternal. Her presence is steady, her spirit untamed, her calm as endless as the sky itself. Her bow is not only for the hunt. It is a symbol, curved and shining, like the moon that guards her. It speaks of clarity, of focus, of the strength to move with patience. Each arrow is not meant to harm, but to remind that every spirit has a direction, every heart a path. Her bow is quiet discipline, the soft strength that comes from stillness. The deer, her companions, are not creatures of fear. They step lightly through the grass, their eyes wide, their breath gentle. They remind us of freedom, of innocence that belongs not to weakness, but to purity of being. They are both fragile and strong, able to leap, able to flee, yet also able to pause and listen. Through them, Artemis shows that strength does not always roar. Sometimes it waits, sometimes it breathes, sometimes it simply is. Those who prayed to Artemis lit small fires beneath the open sky. They offered fruit, honey, or fresh branches of laurel. No great riches, no towering shrines, just simple gifts born from the earth she guarded. For Artemis asked not for power, but for respect. Respect for the wild rivers, for the quiet hills, for the young souls under her care. In villages, mothers whispered her name when seeking protection for their children. Hunters whispered her name before stepping into the forest, asking not for conquest, but for balance. She was not a goddess of greed, but of harmony. Her bow and her deer reminded them that freedom was sacred, and that solitude could be sweet. Artemis herself was a maiden untouched, walking her path in solitude. Her freedom was her vow, her life her own. She did not need a crown, nor a throne, nor a hand to guide her. Her strength was the silence between trees, the cool air beneath the stars, the rhythm of her own steady breath. She belonged only to herself, and through her, the forest belonged to all. There is a quiet power in such solitude. It is not loneliness, but clarity. Like the still lake that reflects the moon, it is complete in its calm. Artemis teaches that solitude is not emptiness, it is fullness. It is the chance to hear the softest sounds, the rustle of a leaf, the call of a night bird, the heartbeat of the earth itself. Imagine walking with her through the night forest. The path is soft beneath your feet, covered in pine needles and moss. The air is cool, carrying the scent of cedar and damp earth. Above, the moon spills silver through the branches, painting the ground in shifting light. The deer move ahead, their steps graceful, almost soundless. Artemis walks near, her presence calm, her gaze steady, her breath a rhythm with the night. You hear the stream nearby, water running over smooth stones. It hums gently like a lullaby. You feel the cool mist rise, brushing against your skin. The forest is alive, yet it does not press. It welcomes, it cradles. Every sound is gentle, every shadow is soft, every breath is calm. Artemis holds her bow, but it is lowered. There is no need for haste, no need for chase. The hunt tonight is not of beasts, but of silence. The quarry is peace, the arrow a breath, the release a moment of stillness. She shows that not all hunts end in capture. Some end in rest, some end in sleep. She lifts her hand, and the deer pause. They turn their heads toward the moon, ears alert, yet bodies calm. They do not run. They trust her, and in that trust, they teach trust. The forest holds its breath, and the stillness itself becomes sacred. In ancient stories, Artemis was fierce when wronged, swift with her arrows when boundaries were broken. Yet beneath the myth lies a deeper truth. She guarded what was fragile, the young, the wild, the free. She was not only a huntress, but a shield. Her strength was not only in striking, but in protecting. This protection was gentle, like a hand raised against the storm. It was not loud, it was not cruel. It was steady, it was calm. It was the kind of strength that holds space, that gives freedom without fear. Through her, the forest remained untamed, yet safe. Through her, the young souls found a guardian in the night. Now, as the night deepens, the moon climbs higher. Its glow pours across the hills, silver upon silver. The trees lean toward the light, their branches glowing as if tipped with frost. The stream continues its song, patient and unending. The deer bow their heads, grazing quietly, untroubled. And Artemis, eternal, stands watch. She is the stillness in the trees. She is the calm in the water. She is the silver in the night. Her presence lingers, even when unseen, like the moon behind the clouds. Always there, always watching, always gentle. As you rest now, imagine the bow of Artemis. Its curve is like the moon, cradling light in its arc. It does not weigh you down. It lifts you like a crescent lifting the tide. Her arrows are not sharp, but soft. Each one a breath, each one a whisper guiding you toward calm. Imagine the deer stepping softly beside you. Their eyes are deep and calm, their bodies light as mist. They lead you deeper into the quiet, deeper into the safety of the forest. Their presence is trust itself, pure and simple. And imagine Artemis, her gaze steady as the stars. Her silence is not distant, it is close, protective, near. She watches not to judge, but to comfort. Her spirit stands beside you, steady as the trees, endless as the moon. The night folds around you, soft as a blanket. The wind hums through the branches, slow and low. The stars shimmer, their light like distant fireflies. The moon glows, eternal, calm, bright. Artemis remains, her bow lowered, her deer resting. Her presence seeps into the dream, into the breath, into the steady tide of sleep. She reminds you that solitude is not emptiness, but fullness. That freedom is not fear, but peace. That strength is not loud, but quiet, protective, eternal. Let her forest cradle you. Let her moonlight guide you. Let her calm surround you. For the huntress of the night does not chase you. She watches, she shields, she soothes. Now drift onward, deeper into the silver stillness. Now rest as the stars return. And Artemis, eternal and gentle, guards your sleep beneath the moon. The night is deep, and the moon hangs low. It glows like a lantern in the sky, pale and steady, draping the earth in silver. The air is cool, carrying the faint scent of wild herbs and damp stone. A stillness lingers, as if the world is holding its breath. Here, at the edge of paths that meet, the silence thickens. The crossroads waits. At this place, where one way becomes three, where choice meets mystery, her presence rises. Hecate, the Veiled One, guardian of thresholds, keeper of unseen doors. She does not startle. She does not rush. She simply is. Her shadow is soft, long, flowing with the folds of her dark robe. In her hands 2 torches burn, twin flames steady as stars. They do not blaze to blind, they glow to guide. Hecate walks where boundaries blur, between night and dawn, between earth and sky, between the living and the unseen. She is the spirit at the edge of things, the whisper in the turning of paths. She does not force the traveler. She only lights the way. Her torches do not command. They comfort. They hold a gentle fire, warm and patient. With them, the unknown does not feel sharp. It softens, like mist wrapped around a lantern. Her light is not to reveal every step, but to show enough. Enough for the next breath, enough for the next heartbeat. Those who sought her in olden times brought small offerings. A simple egg, a loaf of bread, a trickle of honey, placed at the crossing of roads, under the fading stars. Not riches, not grandeur, only gifts of the hearth, gifts of the hand. For Hecate was not distant. She was near, quiet, listening in the hush of night. The dogs of the night howled in her presence, not in fear, but in recognition. They sensed her steps before mortals did. Their cries were a hymn to her, a song in the dark that told of passage and turning. Even the owls paused, their wide eyes reflecting her torchlight, silent companions to her journey. She is not a goddess of loud glory. She is a goddess of quiet power, of choices made in silence, of doors opened with a whisper, of shadows that protect, not harm. Her veil is the night itself, draped over the shoulders of the earth. Through it, stars glimmer like pinholes in cloth, and through it, she moves unseen, yet always felt, like the tide that comes without call, like the dawn that arrives without haste. Her presence is certain, steady, eternal. Imagine yourself now at the crossroad. The air is still. The paths stretch outward, 3 ways into shadow. Above, the moon glows. Before you, the torches of Hecate shine. She does not point. She does not command. She simply holds her lanterns, one to the left, one to the right. Her face calm, her eyes deep as night. The flames flicker softly, bending like reeds in a breeze. You feel no fear, only calm. The unknown does not press. It invites. You step forward slowly. The earth beneath your feet is cool and firm. The night air folds around you like a cloak, and the torches guide not to answers but to ease. You walk not to conquer, but to rest within the journey. Hecate is the guardian of thresholds, the gates of the city, the edges of forests, the turning of the moon, the beginning of dreams. Where one thing ends and another begins, she stands, not as a wall but as a gentle keeper. Her presence reminds that change is natural, that endings lead to beginnings, that each door opened is not an end but a passage. The ancients whispered her name when night was long. They asked her to guide their souls gently, to hold her torches high so they would not stumble. Her light was not for the day. It was for the hours when eyes strain, when paths blur, when hearts falter. It was the light of quiet courage, soft enough to soothe, strong enough to steady. In dreams, Hecate often appears at the edges, a figure with veiled face, her torches glowing like twin moons. Sometimes she stands near a doorway that has not yet opened, sometimes at the edge of a river that must be crossed, sometimes at the gate of the garden that waits beyond. Always her torches glow, always her presence is calm. She does not rush the dreamer. She simply waits, steady as the night sky, until the next step is taken. Her silence is never empty. It is full of patience, like soil waiting for seed, like dawn waiting behind the horizon. The moon, too, is hers, not the bright sun of noon, but the shifting moon of phases, waxing, waning, hidden, full. Each stage a threshold, each change a lesson. She carries its rhythm in her steps, its glow in her torches. She is the mystery of cycles, the gentle truth of time. Her light reminds that darkness is not absence, it is part of the path. That even when the moon disappears, it is not gone. It rests, it renews, it returns. Picture her now as she walks along the night path. Her robe brushes against the earth, dark as the shadows, yet edged in faint silver. Her torches sway gently with her stride, flames bowing, but never failing. The dogs pad beside her, their paws soundless, their eyes glowing faintly. The air moves with her, as if the world leans closer when she passes. She is not fear. She is not storm. She is the hush before dawn. She is the pause at the gate. She is the stillness that holds space for the next step. For the ancients, she was more than a goddess of shadow. She was a protector of homes, of women, of the young. At night, they believed her torches kept away what wandered unseen. Her presence at the door was safety, her gaze a shield. She guarded not only the soul's path, but the hearth's flame, both the crossing of worlds and the quiet within walls. Hecate's gift was not fear. It was guidance. It was the lantern at the threshold, the hand at the unseen door, the calm in the turning of paths. She did not demand worship. She asked only for remembrance, for a soft word, for a quiet offering left at the place where roads meet. Small gestures that said, "Thank you for light in the dark." Now the night grows deeper. The crossroads lies behind, yet the torches of Hecate remain in your memory. Their glow lingers, soft and golden, steady as your breath. The veil of night folds around you, not heavy, but gentle, like a blanket of quiet. The paths stretch outward, yet none press upon you. You are not rushed. You are not lost. You are held in the calm of her guardianship. Her silence is near. Her torch is steady, her veil soft. She remains, eternal at the edge of dreams, guiding without command, protecting without demand. The crossroads becomes the cradle. The night becomes the hearth. The journey becomes the rest. Now drift onward under the silent veil. Rest as her torches glow gently in the distance. Rest as the moon's light softens above. Rest as the crossroads fades and only the path of dreams remains. Hecate holds her lantern still. She waits at the threshold, eternal and calm.
Guiding with quiet light.
Guarding with gentle night. Now rest as the stars return. And let her silent veil cradle you in peace. The night deepens, and the air is calm. Moonlight rests gently upon quiet stones, casting silver shapes that stretch like soft veils across the earth. A hush fills the world, as though the trees, the rivers, and the winds are listening to something sacred. It is not a voice of thunder. It is not a cry of command. It is the whisper of wisdom, hidden yet near, steady yet unseen. Sophia, the name drifts like a feather, light and timeless. She is not fire that burns the eyes, nor storm that shakes the earth. She is the glow of dawn before the sun appears. She is the star that lingers at the horizon, guiding those who watch the night fade. Her presence is the gentle breath of knowledge, calm, patient, and eternal. Sophia has been spoken of in many lands, in many tongues. Some called her wisdom itself, clothed in light. Some felt her as a guiding mother, tender and steady. Others saw her as the breath of the divine, the quiet current that moves beneath all creation. Her essence was never bound by one place or one name. She is the river beneath rivers, the silence beneath silence, always present, always waiting. Her dwelling is not in grand halls nor golden palaces. She is found in the hush of libraries, where pages turn softly, in the silence of temples where lamps flicker against stone, in the eyes of elders who sit by the fire, their stories woven with time. Her voice rises not in clamor but in stillness. To hear her, one must lean into quiet. To know her, one must rest in calm. Long ago, poets told of her as a figure of light, standing at the edge of creation. Before mountains rose, before oceans filled, she was present. She moved like a dancer among stars, setting them in their paths, weaving harmony into their song. She shaped balance not with hands, but with thought, with presence, with a wisdom too soft to be forced, too steady to be broken. She was imagined as the companion of the divine, a mirror that reflected truth without distortion. When creation unfolded, she was the pattern that held it steady. When chaos stirred, she was the calm that reminded all things of their root. Like a mother's voice soothing a restless child, Sophia quieted the universe into peace. Her wisdom is not only knowledge of stars or scrolls. It is the wisdom of small things. The curve of a seashell, perfect in its spiral. The patience of roots that push gently through stone. The rhythm of breathing, slow and steady, carrying life without demand. Sophia teaches through these quiet lessons. She shows that truth is not always hidden in far-off places. It is here, in the turning of seasons, in the falling of rain, in the cycle of night and day. Each moment carries her touch, if only one pauses long enough to feel it. The seeker who walks in tonight in search of her does not find a throne. Instead, they find a lamp. Its flame is soft, small, golden, enough to light a single step, enough to comfort the heart. It does not blaze to overwhelm. It glows to accompany. This is the nature of Sophia, not to blind but to guide, not to shout but to whisper. She is the teacher of patience, of listening before speaking, of seeing before judging. Her wisdom is the still water that reflects clearly. Disturb it with haste, and the reflection breaks. Let it rest, and the image shines with purity. There are tales of Sophia walking with seekers in dreams. She appears not as one form, but as presence. Sometimes a woman robed in flowing light, her eyes deep with calm. Sometimes as a star, steady above a wanderer's path. Sometimes as the sound of leaves moving in night wind, reminding the listener to pause, to breathe, to trust. Her wisdom is not a puzzle to be solved. It is a song to be heard slowly, a lullaby that rocks the spirit into balance. Those who chase her too quickly find only silence. Those who rest in patience find her everywhere. She has been called the mother of understanding, not because she scolds, but because she embraces. Her presence gathers all things, the broken and the whole, the lost and the found, and reminds them that they belong. Her light is not for the proud, but for the weary, not for the conqueror, but for the one who seeks rest. Her gift is not power, but peace. In quiet moments, Sophia's voice is felt as a warmth in the chest, a breath that softens the heart. It does not arrive with words, but with knowing. It tells the seeker, you are held, you are guided, you are part of the great weaving. This is wisdom, not heavy, not hard. It is gentle, like water shaping stone, like light guiding through shadow. Sophia is often linked with the image of the star, high above, far yet near, constant yet moving with the night sky. Stars are old, older than mountains, yet they shine for the present moment. So does wisdom. It is ancient, yet always new. It glows in silence, waiting for the eyes that choose to look upward. To follow Sophia is to follow the star, not for arrival, but for direction. For the journey itself becomes rest when her light is near. The traveler does not need to know the whole map, only the next step. And Sophia's star, her wisdom, shows just enough. Some myths whisper that Sophia was hidden when the world turned noisy, that she wrapped herself in silence, waiting until hearts became still enough to hear her once more. This is why her presence is felt most in quiet, in meditation, in prayer, in gentle breaths before sleep. She is the calm that returns when the clamor fades. When one sits in stillness, Sophia is near, not to fill the silence, but to deepen it, not to bring more, but to show that enough is already here. Her gift is not the endless search, but the gentle knowing that rest itself is wisdom. Imagine now a temple, open to the night sky. No roof above, only stars. The air is still, scented with oil lamps that flicker along the stone. In the center stands a statue, carved not of grandeur but of grace. It is Sophia, veiled and calm, her hand lifted not in command but in welcome. Her eyes seem to meet yours, though they are carved in stone. Her presence flows through the air, soft as music. You feel her wisdom not in words, but in quiet, the kind of quiet that heals, the kind of quiet that steadies the heart. You sit before her, and the night deepens. The stars shine above, countless, endless, each one a spark of knowing, each one a thought in her eternal mind. The sky becomes her robe, the constellations her embroidery, and you rest beneath it, safe, small yet not lost, held in her endless embrace of wisdom. Sophia teaches that knowledge is not only for the mind, it is for the soul, for the heart, for the spirit that longs for peace. It is not about having more, but about being still, not about grasping, but about receiving. Like the hand that catches falling rain, wisdom comes when the hand is open, not clenched. And so, as the night stretches onward, her presence becomes a lullaby. Her wisdom does not press you to wake, to strive, to struggle. It encourages you to rest, to trust, to drift. For even in dreams, her light is near. Even in sleep, her wisdom guides. Now the night is soft, the stars steady. Sophia's presence wraps around like a shawl of starlight. Her wisdom hums like a song without words, deep and calm. The air itself feels hushed, as though creation pauses in reverence. You close your eyes, and the glow of her star remains within. It does not fade when sight fades. It stays steady, eternal, guiding not your steps now, but your dreams, guarding not your thoughts now, but your rest. Let us drift onward, under her soft light. Let her wisdom be the calm that carries you. Let the stars of her robe guide you gently into deeper sleep. The night is safe. The silence is kind. Sophia is near, her wisdom eternal. Now rest as the stars return, and may her quiet light cradle you until dawn. The night is still, and the air carries a deep hush. Stone walls hold the coolness of evening, and far above a single candle flickers. Its flame bends and sways, a quiet star within the dark cathedral. Shadows stretch gently along the arches, moving like silent wings. Outside, the moon rests low, pouring silver across tiled roofs and silent courtyards. And within this holy silence, there she stands, the Black Madonna. Her figure is carved, her face dark as soil, her robe heavy with time. In her arms rests a child, calm and eternal. Together, they gaze outward with eyes that do not demand, but only receive. Her presence does not shine like lightning. It grounds like earth, steady, weighty, unmoving. Here, in the stillness of night, she waits. The Black Madonna has been found in many places. High upon mountain chapels, where winds hum like prayers. Deep in caves, where dripping water echoes like soft bells. In crowded cathedrals, her image wrapped in incense and song. And in quiet fields, where her face is seen in visions by those who wander. Her mystery is ancient. Some say she is dark because she carries the earth in her skin, rich and fertile. Some whisper she is dark because she has walked through sorrow and fire, and carries the wisdom of shadows. Others say her color comes from the smoke of centuries, candles burning before her image night after night. But always beyond reason, her presence remains. Her darkness is not absence. It is fullness, depth, a holy night that holds the stars. She is the mother who does not turn away from the broken. Her arms are strong enough for grief, her lap wide enough for those who have lost their way. Her gaze is not polished, not distant. It is earthy, close, warm. She is not unreachable on a throne of gold. She is here, among stones, among roots, among the people who light their small candles before her. The child she holds rests calmly. He leans into her arms with perfect trust. This trust is her teaching, that all who enter her presence may lay down their burdens, that the weary may lean, the restless may breathe, and the wandering may find home. Legends tell of her being discovered where no one expected, in caves beneath the earth hidden like a seed, in forests where shepherds stumbled upon her image resting against a tree, in ruins where she appeared untouched by fire. Always she emerges from shadow, from soil, from the places of stillness. Her voice is not loud. It is the voice of roots, growing unseen yet unshakable. It is the sound of earth itself, steady beneath the restless feet of travelers. To sit before her is to feel both small and safe. Her presence does not tower to diminish. It envelops, like the darkness of night wrapping around a weary soul. In her the sacred is not shining and unreachable. It is close, like soil beneath bare feet. It is grounding, deep, tender. The Black Madonna teaches through symbols. Her darkness is like the fertile soil, rich with unseen life. Seeds hidden in it rest until the time is right. From that darkness flowers rise, wheat grows, rivers find their way. So too, from the depths of her silence, wisdom is born. The child in her arms is a reminder of innocence carried within mystery. Even in the darkest soil, new life rests. Even in the deepest night, dawn is waiting. Her image tells this story without words, only with her gaze, her stillness, her embrace. Pilgrims have walked long miles to kneel before her. They bring flowers, candles, whispered prayers. They kneel in silence, asking nothing, only resting in her presence. Some speak of feeling her as warmth in the chest, heavy yet kind. Some see her in dreams, her eyes like dark stars. Some find only quiet, yet leave with peace they cannot explain. The caves that hold her seem to breathe with her presence. The stone walls drip with water, like tears of the earth. The air is heavy with stillness, but not empty. It feels alive, as though her very breath lingers within it. A lantern placed before her glows like a star in the womb of the world. And pilgrims rest there, hearts softening, burdens loosening. The Black Madonna is not polished brightness. She is the wisdom of shadow, of silence, of waiting. She reminds that not all is seen in the daylight, that healing often grows in darkness, unseen, until it blossoms at the right hour. She reminds that love is not only gentle light, but also the strong earth that holds roots. She is the stillness in which new life is nourished. When storms pass and trees fall, it is the soil that receives them. When rivers flood, it is the earth that absorbs their restlessness. So too does she receive sorrow, pain, and wandering spirits. She does not turn them away. She absorbs them, grounds them, transforms them. Her gift is not escape, but belonging. Some stories speak of her as the hidden face of the mother, the side that knows suffering, yet holds it tenderly, the side that knows darkness, yet keeps a lamp glowing within it. She is mystery, but not to frighten. She is mystery to remind the soul that not all is meant to be solved. Some truths are meant only to be held the way a child is held. To those who fear shadow, she teaches stillness. To those who rush toward light, she teaches patience. To those who feel lost, she teaches that darkness is not absence, but presence. Her wisdom is slow, grounding, steady, like a heart beating in the night, constant and sure. Now imagine yourself in her presence. The air is cool, the cave around you dark. Stone walls rise, wet with droplets that shimmer in lantern light. Before you, the Black Madonna rests, carved from dark wood or stone, her face solemn, her arms strong. She holds her child, calm and eternal, his eyes soft with trust. You kneel, and the silence is complete. Your breath slows, your body loosens, your mind softens. You feel the ground beneath you, steady and kind. You feel her gaze, not pressing, not demanding, only receiving. You let go like the child in her arms. You lean into her mystery and rest. The Black Madonna is not a goddess of noise or thunder. She is the sacred night, the holy earth, the fertile darkness that carries life in silence. Her presence wraps around like a cloak. It holds, it grounds, it comforts. And as you rest in her embrace, you learn her lesson. That wisdom can be dark, yet never frightening. That love can be heavy, yet never cruel. That the soil of the earth, though hidden, is what keeps life alive. She is the reminder that even in shadow there is peace. The night deepens. The candle burns low. Her image remains dark and strong, holding the child with endless patience. Her presence does not fade when eyes close. It lingers like earth beneath feet, like the steady hum of life itself. Let us drift onward beneath her silent gaze. Let her grounding presence cradle the heart. Now rest as the stars return. Rest as the Black Madonna holds the night steady, and sleep as her mystery becomes your peace. Night settles like a soft veil. The sky is deep and quiet, painted with stars that gleam like drops of silver. The air is still, yet alive with whispers only the heart can hear. Somewhere in the distance, a low drum echoes, slow as a heartbeat, steady as breath. And beneath this canopy of night, the circle begins again. For in every shadow and every light, the goddess moves in her eternal cycle. She is maid, she is mother, she is crone. Her faces shift as the moon shifts, waxing and waning, rising and falling. Her story is not one, but many, and always she returns. The maiden rises first. She steps from the dawn like a fresh breeze. Her feet are light upon the grass, dew glistening beneath her toes. Her eyes shine like the morning star, bright with wonder. She is newness itself, hope, curiosity, the gentle beginning of every path. The maiden carries in her hands not weight, but promise. She is the first flower opening its petals to the sun. She is the clear spring water tumbling down the hillside, untouched, alive. Where she passes, laughter stirs like birdsong. She is the whisper of dreams not yet formed, the spark of stories waiting to be told. Those who feel lost in the heaviness of the world may call upon her. She comes as lightness, reminding that every ending carries a beginning. Her song is simple: rise, wander, discover. Her presence stirs the spirit into motion, yet she asks nothing but openness, the willingness to step forward with trust. As the wheel turns, the mother comes. Her voice is deep as rivers, her arms wide as forests. She walks through fields heavy with grain, orchards bowed with fruit. She is fullness, abundance, the rhythm of growth. The earth herself is her cloak, woven of soil and sunlight. The mother is not only gentle, she is strength, rooted and fierce in her care. She carries the child at her breast, yet she also carries storms in her eyes, ready to defend what she loves. She is the fire in the hearth, the bread on the table, the cool hand upon a fevered brow. Her presence nourishes without end. The mother teaches through cycles of planting and harvest. She knows that to give is also to receive, and to release is also to make space for new life. Her love is steady, not fleeting. It is the steady warmth of the sun across the seasons, the endless tide that kisses the shore. And then, the crone. Her steps are slow, her hair white as frost. Her face is lined like the bark of old trees, and her eyes shine with depth. She walks with the night beside her, and yet she is not shadowed by it. Her presence is not loss, but clarity. The crone is the keeper of endings, and with them, wisdom. She is the final breath of autumn, the falling leaf, the stillness of winter, yet within her silence rests the seed of spring. She knows that endings are not destruction, but preparation. She holds the lantern of memory, guiding those who seek truth. Her gift is not in rushing, but in waiting. She teaches patience, reminding that all things must ripen before they are released. She is the soft voice that says, "Rest now. What you have carried is enough." Her wisdom is the night sky itself, vast, endless, filled with stars that remind the soul it is never alone. Maid, mother, crone. 3 faces yet one circle, 3 rhythms yet one song. Together they weave the eternal dance of life. The maiden carries beginnings, fresh as dawn. The mother holds fullness, warm as the midday sun. The crone gathers ending, soft as twilight. And the wheel turns, carrying each into the other. When the crone closes her eyes, the maiden opens hers. When the mother lays down her harvest, the maiden rises with seeds in hand. The circle never ends. This eternal cycle has long been mirrored in the moon. Look upward and the story is told again. The crescent maiden, new and tender. The full mother, round and luminous. The waning crone, thin and wise. And always, the dark moon, the deep rest, the fertile soil where all returns. The moon teaches, as the goddess teaches, that there is no true ending, that every phase is necessary, beautiful, complete, that even in darkness the light is only waiting. The moon rests, and so too may the soul. The seasons echo the same truth. Spring blossoms as the maiden, tender and green. Summer swells as the mother, abundant and full. Autumn quiets as the crone, golden and fading. Winter rests, the stillness that prepares the way. And then spring again without fail. So it has always been, so it shall always be. The rivers too flow in circles. Rain falls, waters the earth, flows to the sea, and rises again to the clouds. The breath in your body moves the same way. Inhale, exhale, return. Every heartbeat is part of this rhythm. Every life rests in this great circle. The eternal circle of the goddess is not only outside, it is within. In the innocence that still stirs within the soul, the maiden lives. In the love and care the heart gives, the mother moves. In the wisdom that grows through trials, the crone whispers. All 3 dwell within, shaping the path, holding the spirit gently through its journey. At times, you may feel light as the maiden, stepping into newness. At times, full as the mother, carrying love and responsibility. At times, still as the crone, reflecting and releasing. Each phase is true, each is sacred. Each is part of the circle that never breaks. Imagine now the circle itself, a wheel turning slowly beneath a night sky filled with stars. Each spoke shines with a different light, each marking a season, a phase, a story. The wheel turns without hurry, steady and sure. Its movement cannot be stopped, nor does it need to be, for within its turning is peace, rhythm, and endless return. You may rest in this circle. You do not need to cling to beginnings, nor fear endings. The circle carries all. The circle holds all. It holds you, as gently as the goddess herself. The maiden offers you her hand, light as dawn. The mother wraps you in her arms, warm as the sun. The crone places her lantern near your heart, glowing like a star. Together they keep watch, surrounding you in their eternal embrace. You are safe in their rhythm. You are part of their song. And so the night deepens. The stars burn steady. The wheel turns quietly, unseen yet eternal. The goddess in her many forms whispers through the silence. Not in words, but in presence. Not in commands, but in peace. Her gift is this. All flows in circles. All returns. All is carried. And within the turning, you may rest. Let us drift onward, wrapped in the eternal embrace of her rhythm. Let the wheel turn softly, carrying you with it. Now rest as the stars return. Rest as the circle holds you close. And sleep as the eternal goddess keeps watch.